Alexa, play I Wanna Be Hard, but this movie is making me so... Hi, my name is l.k.p, aka lowkeyprose. If this is your first time here, hi, nice to meet you. Today, we're talking about Uglies. I'd love to know your opinion, so if any of my points are hitting, leave a comment and tell me how it hit. I read this book in high school, and it's been a minute, so if I forget some key points, I'm just a girl, like, leave me alone. Let's talk about the wig. So the very first thing is her half wig sensational 1B unit that she got going on. First of all, what I cannot stand more than anything is a bad wig. If I can tell that you're wearing a wig, because first of all, excuse me. First of all, how dare you? It was so hard to watch whenever she would look down. She had her real hair in the front, and then they put the wig directly behind it versus having it clamp up with her real hair. You can see the two at odds with each other. They doing this on her head. It pissed me off, quite frankly. Even like with the Asian girl, at least her wig looked convincing. It's like, okay, it was a full cap unit. Whoever's in charge of the hair department, they did not like her. They're like, you know what?
Why do you do this, Lestat?
Well, I like to do it. I enjoy it.
Well, I don't. You don't have to humiliate him. Well, I don't say that you have to enjoy it!
I'm not a CGI connoisseur, but it's just something about some of the CGI that made me go like, Spoiler alert. When she went into the pretty layer, the Polly Pocket Pretty Princess layer, I like that. I like the kaleidoscope psychedelic type of tease. When she was teaching her how to do X Games mode on the snowboard, on the hoverboard, and she was going and zipping and going, it kind of reminded me of the Harry Potter CGI from the very first movie. When Harry Potter was with his clique and it was in the bathroom, 3-on-1 versus that troll, he stuck the wand up his nose and like he was like whooshing all around. That was revolutionary back in the day. When you watch the movie back, you're like, wow, like, this is actually really good CGI for that time. But for a 2024 movie to have the same kind of graphics as like 2001.
Hey pal, you just blowing from Stupid Town?
That was the only part of the movie, which I mean was a significant chunk of her learning how to do it because she had to learn how to do it so she can go to the smoke and all this kind of stuff. But girl, what is this? And they were both like on the river and they're like, whoa. It was so much giving like when Edward and Bella were like racing through the woods and they're like looking over at each other. And first of all, for this to represent like in the future, Techna from Winx Club,
you are the visual, baby.
are these really uglies? Like, okay, like hear me out. No tea, no shade. Joey King, she could pass for being an uggo because her features are plain. Asian chick, be for real.
She's beautiful.
She looks like a model. Like I could see her on the runway. The other guy, the bald guy, bitch, that's a Calvin Klein model. What are you talking about? I need to have actual uggos in the chat because Joey, yeah, she could pass for it. No tea, no shade. The clique that she was with at the very end, yeah, they could all pass. And Nose, kinda like he has like such a default like face preset, very much giving handsome Squidward, where he's not attractive, like he's like ugly hot. Because even though he had the nose, having a big nose as a guy is hot.
Because you can kind of like
Take for example the leader of the Smoke, the dude, right? He's an attractive guy too, so it's just like he just wasn't ugly enough. Like I understand that you can't cast a whole thingy of uggos because no one's gonna want to watch that. Somebody gotta be ugly on there. We gotta have some sneaks, but I need a more convincing sneak. The whole dystopian thing is like, it's kind of like Latin. It's like, I feel like it's considered Latin in the movie world. It's a dead genre. How can you follow up after Divergent? I felt like it was trying to be Tess and 4, and there is never going to be another Tess and 4. Do you understand? What made Divergent so, and I'm not talking about the other two movies. I don't think of the other two movies. I'm like, la, 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 la. What made Tess so great is because she had a character development where she started off as a stiff, became hella courageous, worked her ass off, got the shit beaten out of her, and still prevailed at the end of the day. That's what made her attractive, or that's what made her cool in 4's eyes. You saw how much how hard she was working and how much she did not care to even be with 4. That made them work.
What makes you think you can talk to me?
must be because you're so approachable.
Here go this. She already courageous. She already brave. Why am I rooting for you?
Quickly.
Her only flaw is that she thinks that she's on the good side at the time before she switches over to be like, oh wait, actually, like the pretties are actually the baddies. That's her only thing that she elevated on. She was already in her pink era, swinging through vines, jumping buildings, bungee jumping in the very first couple minutes of the movie. That's what makes you cool? I don't get it. I don't see it. I don't feel it. Chemistry was off. Like, I got more of she was friends with the Asian chick more than being romantic interest to the leader of the Smoke. And I say this every single time and I mean it. If there is a romantic couple on the screen, the chemistry needs to be so good that I would want to watch. With him, he got turned on when she jumped in in the fire, and when she did the archery thing and didn't give up.
You never quit, do you?
It's not enough. Tess was the first one to jump in the pit. She was the first one to be like, anyone can stand in front of a target, to stay up late, training her ass off against the boom, bah. She was the one that still chased after, and I get chills every time I think about it. She was the one that chased after that train after they cut her. And then she won the game after like outsmarting everybody. And when she was like, I was like, yeah. You were rooting for her. We were all rooting for her. We're not rooting for this. I just didn't feel a pull towards her. I didn't feel like I'm rooting for you to know what is going on. And then like when they were at the campfire, it just tried so hard for them to like make it seem like they were, and that like there was enough for him to really like her. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, it's just not enough. She's not cool. I would have liked her to suck at first and then be cool. Katniss, I mean, she wasn't trying to be a leader. She grew to be the leader that everyone saw her to be. She was the underdog.
Everyone likes an underdog. I don't.
And then Laverne Cox, like, don't get me wrong, she was very pretty, but I don't know, something was missing from her performance for me. When I compare President Snow, menacing villain, I believed it. Strategic, playing chess, deep lore. Titanic chick, evil, believed it. Their motive was good. What was Laverne's motive? Yes, you'd be a mindless soldier. You know, they love to do that whole mind control thing. They did it in Hunger Games, they did it in Divergent. Her motive wasn't strong enough for me to believe her as like a really ruthless villain. The only time when I was like, oh, she mean business.
Spoiler alert.
When she popped up at their camp and was like, yeah, you're all getting surgeries. I was like, wait.
You ate that.
Because it's like, imagine like, you get a BBL and you get a BBL. I'd be like, me. Because Joey was like, I wouldn't have a mind on my own. And she was like, yeah, but you'd sure be pretty. And I'm like, honestly, like, she has a point. Because it's just like, yeah, that'd be pretty though. The pretty place is like the capital, you know, where everyone is, you know, wealthy and cute. And in the pretty place, it's like everybody's pretty. Everybody got a nice condo apartment. Like, it's sunflowers and rainbows. Like, yeah, I would be pretty too. And yeah, it dulls my senses and I don't really know right from wrong, but I'm happy as hell. And everybody around me is a baddie. Like, I mean, why not? Like, cause, okay. And then maybe I just didn't get it. Y'all tell me in the comments, but it's like, okay, so what? They're killing the environment with flowers? Aren't we also killing the environment? Like, it's already too far gone. Okay, yeah, so they injected my mind and I can't think for myself. Honestly, I would love to have a break from myself. Me and my mind be at war. We'd be like, I don't know if my own emotions are my own emotions, or, you know, I kind of feel like Fleabag. I want someone to tell me what to wear, who to love, who not to love, who to vote for. So it's like, bitch, if you're able to take the thing away for me, and I just gotta be like, what's the problem? Would you trade your autonomy to be pretty? What were they doing wrong though? Like, I know in the books it was definitely a lot more like graphic, a lot more, you know what I'm saying? But like in the movie, like if you never read the books, okay, so they're killing the planet. So are we. All in all, I mean, like I was thoroughly entertained. Her at the end, still having the scar on her hand. I did like that little twist. I did like that. Because it definitely gears up for like the second movie, which I will be sad for. But you know, like on a scale of 1 to 10, like there wasn't like any love, like any flirting. I would give Uglies like maybe like a 4 out of 10, to be honest with you. Deducting because of her wig. I'm deducting because I wouldn't want to watch. The Uggles are not Uggles. Maybe they're middos. Not good music. Divergent had the best soundtrack ever. It reflected the world that they were in. This did not have music that really sucked you into the world. Like really, really great movies, in my opinion, that you can play that song and you feel like you're transported into the movie. Her, Twilight, love me like you do. What are you waiting for? This movie was kind of like devoid of character, longevity, like a standout film. Like, this is the follow-up for many years and not having a good dystopian YA movie. Like, this is what y'all came up with? And also, how the were they scaling the walls like that? And nobody died. Like, this was in like a skyscraper. What do you mean that Nose was able to climb up and down to her place? What do you mean he was able to just like come into her house like that when she escaped for the first time to go meet him and she jumps? And I'm like,
oh my God, you for real? No, you for fake. No, you for real.
When she escaped from the pretties and she stood there as the huge freaking alien ship was looking and allowed it to turn around and spot her, I was like, girl, are you dumb? And also, where was the board? Like when they got like, it was like a mix of like continuity. That's the other thing. I was like, what else do I not like about the movie? Continuity. Where did she come from? Second of all, where was the board? There was a disconnect, 1000% disconnect. I was like, And that's actually gonna lead me into this week's actually freestyle short poem. Roses are red, violets are blue. I wouldn't wanna watch, but I'd still be in the room. Let me know what you think about this movie. Tell me down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you and read your thoughts and anything that I may have missed because, girl, follow me on my socials. I'm l.k.p everywhere. Follow the Discord. It's free. Book a one-on-one session with me. October is almost sold out, so lock in with me. I want to hear from you. And until next time, safe travels.
When I'm with you, it's like chaos. Talking's just one thing you do.